Her Excellency Marie-Louise Colero Preca, President of Malta. The floor is yours.
I am confident that we all acknowledge that the struggles against poverty and hunger are truly ongoing struggles, as with the struggles for democracy, greater social justice, and better education and health services. The struggle against widespread poverty and hunger remains urgent. It is here that all nations represented in these institutions, in various capacities, must combine their efforts to engage in an ongoing fight against those myopic policies for which some of us are responsible, that compound the situation of poverty and hunger. Poverty is not a matter of individual, family, or community choice or deficiency. It is, on the contrary, rooted in political, social, and economic injustices. It has been said that there are enough resources on planet Earth to feed and provide shelter and clothing for around 12 billion people, when the population stood at approximately 7 billion in 2011 and is expected to rise to just over 9 billion by 2050. And yet, the statistics concerning people caught in the poverty trap are shocking, more so in the continents of Africa and regions of Latin America and the Caribbean than in, say, the perceived affluent continent of Europe, from where I come. And yet, according to the previous European Commission President, José Manuel Barroso, the amount of people caught in the poverty trap within the European Union is expected to reach 100 million by 2020. The figure stood at 80 million by October 2014. Swaths of poverty, therefore, exist everywhere, and if anything, the shocking European Union statistic makes one wonder what the figure based on similar calculations would be for countries in Africa and other continents. The well-documented facts represent the stark, bleak reality of the current state of our civilization. I am under no illusion that poverty can be readily solved, given the society in which we live, the policies that inform it, and the economic interests that drive these policies. It is quite common to come across policymakers who are mainly preoccupied with overarching economic concerns and devise policies on these grounds. Many a time, these policies serve the people who influence the very same policy-making process. These strategies condition people's lives and the various social systems that govern them. One of the signs of poverty is the inability to participate effectively in social and political life. Furthermore, knowledge about poverty and its related conditions, illiteracy, greater propensity for contracting diseases, lack of formal education, lack of control over one's own life, lack of access to basic goods in a market-driven, soulless economy, risking life and limb to escape conditions, resulting in human migrant tragedies, can never be static. After all, the world is not static, but in flux. New issues arise, including issues concerning gold and new forms of poverty, stark or relative. I believe that in order to combat poverty effectively, we constantly need to refine and update our understanding of the nature of the scourge. The current socio-economic scenario has demonstrated how this type of economic and social thinking has created greater disparities in access to resources and therefore decent living, hence increasing poverty and hunger. This concept has induced some governments to withdraw their safety nets and provision of social programs, which would otherwise have allowed a greater number of people to gain access to those goods that we associate with decent living, pensions, healthcare, education. In some countries, these are now being presented as consumer goods, operating according to the luxury of the market. On concluding, I'd like to echo the words of the much-revered Nelson Mandela. I share the view that overcoming poverty and hunger is not a matter of charity, but one of social justice. Poverty and hunger are human-induced. I therefore believe that, as with all things human-induced, we can collectively help overcome this malice that hinders humankind from enjoying what is rightly theirs, that is dignity, safety, and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you.